What's up, Yugi boys? JT here. Today, I'm back with a binder reveal from a true collector. Let me introduce you to Mr. John Sekiro, who's always posting some absolutely gorgeous card pictures on the Discord and Instagram. So, when I finally met him in person, I had to see those cards up close.
Oh, actually, I want to see your cards.
My cards, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if the reality lives up to the legend.
Most of the collection here are ghosts and ultimate rares. So let's just straight up begin with it. So this is the Ghost from the Pasts page. We have the Dark Magician here, the Blue Eyes, the Red Eyes, the classic normal monster trio.
Yep.
And then after that we have the Dark Magician Girl down here, one of my favorite cards actually.
I gotta ask, is that for sale? Why
No.
are there prices on this?
The prices are there for fun.
100% flex.
Yes, they're they're just to flex. Anyway, so they're all here. And then here on the bottom, there's some bottom tier trash. For example, the Ultimate Dragon here, Red Eyes, which unfortunately is too much of a common print to be worth anything. And then the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which I didn't even know I had actually. But the only reason it's here is because it's also Ghost from the Past set.
Okay, I hope we can see that in the video because ghosts are very hard to
Are
get.
very hard to see,
So
but-
I'm putting the light on that for you guys.
Some more prints here. The Blue Eyes from Gold League Herald of Perfection. And this is one of my favorite Dark Magician Girl prints as a ghost rare. This is the Duelist pack one, if I'm not mistaken, which is a very beautiful card actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't get stuff in the TCG this often like this. And down here there's also some like some more bottom tier ghosts like Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Dust are actually pretty good cards. Draco Knight here is also pretty good, but this is not a near mint copy unfortunately, so it cannot go in the first page obviously. The other three here, Relinquished, it's not that rare, but it's a very pretty card.
You really see the 3D effect on this one. Am I mistaking?
You can see it on the wings, if those are even wings, I don't know what they are actually.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
You see the relief.
Yeah, you see the relief. Yeah, I would like to say a story about this one over here. This is the first ghost rare that I ever got in a booster pack when I was a kid. So this is Heroic Champion Excalibur. And I actually got this in a Redu pack in 2012 on a release.
Cover monster of the Redu pack.
Yeah, exactly. And I pulled this from a booster pack, single booster pack, not from a box, which was an error pack that had the two ghost rares inside at the same time. Yes. The second one of these actually got stolen from me at the same day at the same store from some child, so I only have one of them remaining unfortunately. The third page of Ghost Rares is a bit special here, because some of them we got today. So here we have the Elemental Heroes, the Chaos Neos, the Rainbow Neos here, unfortunately not first edition, because most copies are pretty badly damaged and you'd have to get lucky with the first sets.
Okay.
And here we have the new edition that we bought today, which is the Rainbow Dragon Misprint.
So today's acquisition here, huh?
Yeah, today's
at
acquisition.
RBT.
Well, technically this was more of a half trade, half acquisition. I gave around, 600 euros worth in trades, and then like the rest I paid for it.
This seems to be the nice spot.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys can see it on the video. Yep. Beautiful.
Here, under the fusions, we have the Signar Dragons. We have a Stardust Ghost here, which is Japanese actually, because I don't have the English one. We have the Black Rose Dragon here, the Unlimited, because I'm not taking the first edition in a public tournament. Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is also an Unlim print, and same for Power Tool. Blackwing Dragon is a first ed print, and Shooting Star Dragon is also a first ed print here. So these are like the late 5Ds or mid 5Ds, but post Edison.
Wow.
Now this is like the end of the Ghost collections.
So now we're getting into ultimate territory, right?
Yes, we're getting
Let's go.
into the Ultimate Rares, which are some of my favorite cards. And this is my Trap Cards collection. And there are practically two cards here that I really care about. One of them is this beautiful Security Orb that I topped myself as a child. European exclusive print. And this D-Time here, which is an enhanced Euro print. And it's actually like different.
Explain a bit what is the enhanced thing. I know it's a big thing on the Discord, but not everybody knows about it.
And most of the difference comes with how harsh the card is stamped by the printing machine.
Okay.
But one of the other differences that enhanced cards have, especially like gray variants, is that they have lacking inks, most precisely blues and magentas, which give them these grayish colors and let the foil pop off a bit more.
Okay.
Anyways, outside of the traps, this is my spells collection. Both of these are 9-piece sets and they will remain like that. And here the most two beautiful cards, or at least the relevant ones, are this Asian English Brain Control and this Asian English Lightning Vortex.
Oh,
So the Brain Control,
Grail.
yes, the Brain Control here is
So is it true that he has the OCG Japanese relief and printing? So like the embossing?
no, that's not true actually.
It's not true? It's
No,
flat?
be-
Don't tell me it's flat ass like the
no,
US.
No, it's actually much better on average. But for example, if you look at Lightning Vortex, the Ultimate Rare Lightning Vortex Asian English looks a lot like the European one, and it has kind of the same patterns, like the circles are pretty small. But if you look at the Japanese one, the circles are much larger, which means that the Japanese don't always put the same reliefs on the Asian English, but sometimes they do that, and we will see some examples soon. We also have here my two favorite field spells, Necro Valley and Ancient City Rainbow Ruins, both European print, and European Future Fusion as well. Classic Edison staple, probably the most busted card in Edison,
yeah.
not even close. Ultimate Rare Terraforming, I'm not sure if this is Euro or American. Instant Fusion, and this beautiful European tuning that we got at Game Mana yesterday. This card claps, and I didn't expect it to clap so hard.
So you have a memory from Berlin, thanks to this
yes,
card.
yes.
Okay, so this is your signer page for spells.
Now here we come to the creme de la creme. This is the GX Trinities collection, which focuses around the evil cards, so to say. You know,
Yeah.
so here above we have the main protagonist, sorry, the main antagonist of GX, which is Yubel.
You're a big GX fan, by the way.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the cards are some of the best. Here we have the Ultimate Rare prints, so OCG Yubel from the Rarity Collection 1, the Euro print of Terror Incarnate, which was never made as Asian English, and the Japanese print of their Extremer Trauriger Drachen, which means the very sad dragon, and that's a hilarious translation. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
the Japanese have the thing with German translations. On the middle row, which is my favorite row in this whole album, we have a European print of Uria, an Asian English print of Raviel, and the European print of Hamon. Now this Raviel is actually one of the prettiest cards that one can actually find. The blues on this card are so true, and the relief is absolutely beautiful.
This collection is crazy. What? They're like over 10K and we're just out for...
I think it's around 25k for the whole album, approximately. Down here we have the Sky Scourges, NREs, Norleras and Invisel, with Norleras here having a slight foil shift to the upper left, not very much, maybe 1 to 2 millimeters.
increasing slightly the value.
Yes, slightly by maybe 10 euros. On the other page, which is not completed yet, and I was hoping to complete today, but we have a lot of people that are not leashing their cards, we have the European Turbo Pack collection, starting with the GOAT of Dragons, Judgment Dragon, going off with one of the most underworked cards that Konami has ever done, which is Heraklinos. Even in EU print, this card sucks ass. The Dasher here is simply a substitute for Caius, which I need to find still. And the Grand Mole is a substitute for Colossal Fighter, which I actually ordered but did not come in time for today. Darkhan Dragon European print, the GOAT. Tragoedia, unfortunately American print, but shout out to, I think it's Glassed, that has the misprint, the double stamped Tragoedia, one of the rarest misprints, because I know that people say double stamping lightly, but double stamping does not happen in reality, because that's a huge mistake from the factory. We have the Ally of Justice Catastrophe here, European print. I don't see this much these days at all, only Americans. The Thunder King Ryo, also European print.
Okay,
On this side here,
So continuing on.
we have the Kaiba collection, which is all the ultimate rares that Kaiba used in the series. This Pot of Greed is American, very unfortunately.
Why is that unfortunate?
Because I mostly collect Euro prints for ultimate rares.
They look better?
Yeah, depending on the set. When it comes to pre-5Ds, only Euro prints for me or Asian English.
Okay.
Now this is a placeholder for the SM51 Blue Eyes, which I have as a PSA 9, and I'm not willing to crack for this album because, well, I'm not stupid. On this page here we have the pink variant of Tutaniel, which is a bit of a rarity itself. We have the Aeroprint Dandelion and the Aeroprint Bulb. These are classic plants, both Edison and Tengu format. Bulb only in Tengu. And here we have the Treeborn Frog,
Yeah.
which is the Aeroprint of Treeborn Frog. Very beautiful card. Thanks to Paradox for selling this to me.
I would like to see his collection one day on the camera. Shout out to you, man.
Princess Koran Europrint, very beautiful card. I need the Picaro still, which I have ordered but has not come yet. And here we have 3 Herald of Orange Light Euros, very nice card. I actually also ordered the Asian English green one. The purple one seems to be a bit of a rarity
For all the fairies players.
for all the fairies players. This here is one of my favorite double pages. This is the Jaden Yuki collection. All of his Ultimate Rare prints, unfortunately in Japanese, but because the series is Japanese, I think that it thematically fits.
Don't say unfortunately in Japanese.
Yeah,
You're breaking my heart here.
That's mostly because of a price point. I actually like these foils better, except for Flame Wingman. Flame Wingman is one of those cards that the Japanese neglected, and he can see as well that this foil is very bad compared to the European one. And here, of course, we have the best one here. We have Elemental Hero Aerodactyl,
Yeah, that guy.
which is one of the best prints ever. And if I ever manage to print custom multis, this guy is getting a custom print with the name Aerodactyl on it. That's like for sure. Here we have the Dark Paladin, which is actually in pretty minty condition here. One of the best Series 3 cards.
I think you're exaggerating.
No.
250? 250 for this card?
This is really mint. I'm not even joking about
Oh, okay. So this is a PSA 10 contender?
it. This is a PSA 10 contender. If you buy this graded and get less than a 9, I'm giving you a full refund.
Oh.
Like for sure.
You're on record, huh?
Yeah, I'm for sure on that.
Okay.
Here we have also like some Series 2 classics for the Joy collection. Unfortunately, the condition on this is dog. But let's move on to this page. This page here is fire. We have the Gemini Elf, the Summon Skull, and soon the Dark Magician, but I have it graded, but I am going to crack it because I have 2 graded copies of it. Here we have
It's a bit faded, no?
Yep. This is a faded Spirit of the Pharaoh. And here we also have a Terror King Archfiend, which is slightly faded, but not as much as this one here. This is pretty extreme.
Do you like faded cards yourself? Or it's just because it's rare and you want to have them for the flags and all?
So I like faded cards depending on the card.
Okay.
For example, a lot of people will have like faded cards of the DM era ultras and supers like Solemn Judgment, Mirror Force, which are actually very pretty, but faded Ultimate Rares is a kind of a rarity in itself. You don't see that very often, if at all. In fact, this is
Isn't it sunburned?
That's a very good question. So when a card gets printed, the layers of color are stuck like this. First they put yellow, then they put magenta, and then they put cyan, and then black on top of it. If a card is sun faded, because black is actually pretty resistant to the UV light, you would see the blues start to fade first because the layer of cyan is actually on top of the other layers of ink. We do not see this with this card because it's very clear that there are plenty of blues still here. In fact, this is a classic magenta fade misprint, and this is very common in the OCG and in the TCG. In fact, most gray misprints like Titanial or Black Rose, all of them are exclusively magenta faded misprints, where the magenta rosettis are actually faded. This is no coincidence because magenta is actually the most used color for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, especially to make reds. Anything that is red or orange just uses the magenta, and so it ends the quickest, and blue and yellow end the slowest. Here on the second row we have also a very special thing, and there is no way that this will be caught on camera, so you'll have to take my word for it. But these are two very distinct prints of Lava Golem.
Yeah, it's hard to see, yeah.
It's hard to see. This is a blue golem, which is believed to be the first edition in quotation marks for the set. I think it's called New Rulers, the set of Lava Golem.
Which one is 301? Yeah, the new ruler.
The New Ruler. And this other print, believed to be an unlimited set or a print that was run in either Hong Kong or Taiwan or something similar, actually is not only purple on the background, but it actually has distinct features on the foil patterns itself. For example, some of the stripes are horizontal, some are vertical. Down here we have Buster Blader, Bandit Kid's favorite card,
Yeah.
the gun monster, of course, because
Uncensored.
yeah, the TCG art that has the toy guns, this is the real guns. And here we have, I'm not sure what's the name of this, Archlord Zerato.
Angelo Cerato, I guess.
This is the rituals page. These are all the ultimate rituals that have ever been printed in the game, both TCG and OCG. And they are collected where you would preferably make a TCG card before buying the OCG version of it. So they are all ordered chronologically. We will start with the release from the Spell of Mask set for the Mask Beast. One of the two ultimate rares in the set, the other one being the Blue Eyes. And then we move into the Black Luster Soldier, which is actually my favorite print for an ultimate rare ritual. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. When I first started collecting the rituals, this was my first goal ever. Magician of Black Chaos, this is BGS 9 cracked.
I cracked it.
Yes, I cracked it. Reshef, here was sold to me by, I think, Frozen Card Gaming. Shout out if you see this video. This is a Doriado. This is a European copy, even though the camera does not show it. But this is the second hardest Ultimate Rare to actually find. The first one being, again, Doriado, but in the Asian English print. The price of this card actually went up hilariously throughout the years. Demise King of Armageddon, the only American print, unfortunately, because the Euro one has disappeared from the market somehow. And then we have his beloved wife Ruin here, which is an Euro print. And then as far as couples go, this is actually one of the other good couples, Divine Grace and Garlandorf. And on the other side here we have Herald of Perfection, which is the last, in my opinion, era relevant ritual card, because the rest will mostly go into the modern format with links and stuff like that. Now, some of you may notice that there is a Hungry Burger here, which has no Ultimate Rare print in existence. In fact, this is a collector's rare Hungry Burger.
Oh.
And the only reason that this is here is not only because this is a 30 euro card, but also because Konami decided to royally piss me off, and they decided to make only 17 rituals, which some of you may notice is a prime number, and there is no way for me to factorize this without a line or a column. So, this is one of my favorite collections here. This is the Duelist League collection. Only 7 cards exist of this. So this set has a very special card called Petite Ultimate Moth, and in my opinion, this is one of the 2 cards that has the best star foiling in the game. It is not one of the usual patterns like the 5-leaf clover that they use in Euro prints or the Japanese one. These are actually lined and striped around the stars. This is also one of my favorite cards, a bit hard to find, but this was made as a World Championship 2006 promotional cards, and the W6S series only has 4 cards. This, Infernal Lord, Vampire Genesis, and Dragon Daedalus or something like that. All of which I own, but they are currently not in this album because space is running low. Going to this page, this is mostly stuff that I was actually willing to sell today, but there was no one who wanted to pick them up. These are the Dark Worlds here, the 4 of them. Unfortunately, Silva is American enhanced and not first edition, but the top ones are all Euro prints. Very beautiful. So is DD Survivor, Millennium Scorpion, and the bottom 3 cards here are also Euro prints. We have the Master Monk with a foot fetish. This here is a random page. This here is most like synchros, fusions, whatever comes to mind. This, thanks again to Paradox for selling me this copy of Trishula, the Euro copy. Very pretty card. Ancient Fairy, it was traded at the Münster Nationals. Goyo, this card has to be shipped to you know who you are. Livestream Dragon, very random with Power Tool here. And here we have an Allure of Darkness, which I took out of my deck for some reason, and it should not even be in this album. On the other page, it's mostly like a random ultimates. These are all very cheap and nothing too special. Here on the bottom we have an Euro Enhanced System Down Unlimited, which even though you cannot see through the phone, it has crazy foil. And this one card here, I topped it myself a few days ago when I opened the Rise of Destiny booster pack.
Okay, looks amazing.
And as far as the last page goes, this is mostly like a random stuff that I keep around. We have a Mystic Swordsman level 6 Euro, Volcanic Doomfire Japanese because the TCG prints suck, Bountiful Artemis because fairies are love, fairies are life. And this is one of the stuff that I got from Card Market for cheap, like 5 euros Euro print because the guy didn't know the difference, you know what I mean? Nova Masters, very random. This is part of the Joy collection, an Euro print of Gearfried. The Asian English does look better than this, but I don't have money for it right now.
If you even can find it.
You can find it, but the mintiness of it is not guaranteed. It's a very old card.
So that was a big show off.
And yeah, huge thanks to Mr. Sekiro for taking the time to show us all these beauties on camera. And remember, this is only part of his massive collection. If you enjoyed what you saw, drop a like to show some appreciation. And let's wish him good luck with his new, completely crazy goal, collecting all the spells in Asian English Ultimate Rares. Nothing less. Merci everyone for watching, and I'll catch you soon for some more retro Yu-Gi-Oh content. Ja, mata ne guys!